everyone, Sabrina here from Scrappy Tales Crafts, and today I'm showing you 10 cards that I created with the Spellbinders March 2020 card kit. So for card 1, you can see I cut some pattern paper down to 4 by 5¼ inches. I have 2 panels here because I'm going to be creating 2 cards with this design. So I'm going to add some skinny gold strips behind this wider pattern paper strip just to add some gold to the card. And then I will attach those strips to the center of the panels. And then in the center of those strips, I'm going to add some ovals. These oval dies came in the kit. So for the doily border of the oval, I cut that from gold cardstock. And then for the center ovals, I cut those from white cardstock and then some of the purple pattern paper for the other panel. I change up the colors or the patterns just so that my cards don't look identical, but they are the same design, so they just look a little bit different. Okay, and then to embellish these ovals, I took some ephemera pieces, the bunny ears and the flowers, and I'm going to accent the ovals on the top and bottom with those ephemera pieces. For the sentiment, I'm going to use the sentiment from the stamp set. I chose Have a Happy Easter. For the oval on the left, I'm just going to stamp it onto the white oval. And then on the other panel, since it's pattern paper, I decided to stamp that sentiment onto a scrap of white paper. And then I'm going to fussy cut that out. I felt like the sentiment would stand out better. So I'm just going to stamp out that Easter. And then there is a blank area next to that Easter. I decided to stamp a heart there, and I colored that in pink off camera. I decided to pop up my floral arrangement and the bunny ears at the top. And I am using the foam dots that came in the kit. And then to embellish this card, I'm just going to use a few flowers, which I die cut from the die cut pack from the kit. I cut them from some gold and pink cardstock. And I just scattered them around that purple pattern paper strip. And then on the other card, I decided to accent the panel with the gems instead, again, just to make it look a little bit different. I'm going to mount that onto my card base. And this card base is 110-pound white Nina. And then here I'm showing you how both cards turned out. For my second card, I'm taking this doily die cut piece and I'm going to glue it onto some scrap green pattern paper. And then I'm going to take my scissors and just cut around that. And I will say that I created 20 cards with this kit. This is the most cards I've ever made with the Spellbinders kit. And I just decided to make 20 since I have the time, I'm staying at home, and business is kind of slow right now, so I thought I would focus on my YouTube. You can see I added a sticker to the center of that doily, and then I'm also taking this bunny sticker and I'm going to stick it onto some white paper and cut around it. I wanted to treat this sticker more as an ephemera piece because I did want to pop it up and I didn't want to have any sticky on it. And I'm going to place that bunny to the left of this doily. Now this was the only card where I didn't use any ephemera pieces. I used the stickers primarily. So in my second card I did change up a few things, but again it's the same exact layout. I love that you can recycle your ideas, but just change up a few things to make it look different. So I'm taking a border sticker and I added it to that same green paper and cut around it so that there's just a gold strip at the top. And then I'm taking a sentiment sticker, I stuck that onto some white cardstock and then I cut around that again so that I can pop it up later. And I like how that layout looks. I'm going to glue down the doily flat and then I'm going to glue down the sticker border at the bottom. And it has a pretty scalloped edge to it. So it kind of matches the scalloped pattern paper in the background. I'm going to add some foam dots to my bunny. and just pop her up over that border strip, and then I'm also going to pop up the sentiment. So I think after that, I just trim off the excess and then mount that onto my card base. Nope, I actually mount it onto that same green pattern paper that I used behind the doily. And then I'm going to attach that to my card base. And this does cover the entire card base. Whenever I'm gluing a panel that covers an entire card base, I always try to line up the bottom two edges, and then typically the top two edges will line up perfectly. And then to accent the doily, I'm going to add a few more of those die cut flowers. I will say, before I started making my 10 cards, I did a bunch of die cutting beforehand. So I have a bunch of ovals, bunny ears, flowers, pretty much every die cut that came in the kit cut out at least 5 times, I think, because I knew I was going to be doing some duplicates. I think later on I did even have to die cut more. So here is the second. Here you can see the second card I created. I just swapped that bunny for the egg that came in the sticker pack. So I actually used up the entire sheet of the 3D stickers, which I've never done before, but I loved the images from that sheet. For my second card, I'm going to glue down another oval piece, which I die cut the center from some stripe pattern paper and then the outline with white. And then I'm going to glue a gold oval on top, and I wanted these to look like eggs. And then I'm going to add some smaller eggs to the bottom of that gold oval. Also on that gold oval, I'm going to glue down the sentiment Hip Hop Hooray. I think this word die sentiment is just so cute. And I cut that from white cardstock, and I'm just going to glue them onto the gold oval with my art glitter glue. And then for the 3 smaller eggs, I'm going to glue down the 2 on the left and right, and then I'll pop up that middle egg with some foam tape. And then since the sentiment had the word hop in it, I figured I should add a bunny, so I added a stamped and colored bunny off to the left. And then I'm also going to add some bunny ears to that gold egg. I thought that would be cute and fitting for the sentiment. I'm going to add some pink behind the ears, just with some scrap paper. So I'll just attach those ears with my art glitter glue, and then I'm going to embellish the left egg a little bit more with some of the leaves from the die cut pack, and then another flower that I cut from the gold cardstock from the kit. And like I said earlier, I did all my die cutting ahead of time, so I have a bunch of images just sitting on the side of my desk, and I just add them to my cards. I also added a few smaller gold flowers around that bunny. And then I'm just going to attach that to my card base. And there's quite a wide border since I did cut this panel to be a pretty small rectangle. Here's the second card I created. It's more girly. I think the one on the right could be masculine. And here's a close-up of both of those. For card 3, I'm going to use a card sketch. I've used this sketch in a previous video, so I will have it on my coordinating blog if you want to see what that looks like. But basically, I'm just going to mat these pattern paper rectangles onto some gray mats, which are about 1/8 of an inch larger. And I'm going to layer those on top of each other, and then I'll have a circle laying on top. And I'm going to glue this basket onto the circle, but first I'm going to fill the basket with some die cut pieces. So you can see I added a blue bow to the top of the basket, and then I'm going to glue down some leaves inside the basket. And then I'm also going to attach some of these small eggs inside the basket. You can see I have to move around my leaves. And then I wanted to have a bunny inside the basket. So like I did with my die cuts, I did all my stamping, coloring, and fussy cutting beforehand. And I think I colored each image like 5 times just to have some variety to work with. I did have some leftovers, I think, but not many. And I think I only colored the bunny and the chick from the stamp set. I thought they were really cute. There were 2 bunnies, so I did color both of them. So I'm just going to tuck in a few more leaves, and that will complete my little basket. So I'm going to adhere my pattern paper rectangles onto my card base. I'm going to layer the pink bunny paper on top of the purple. And then I decided to pop up my basket onto my circle. And then I'm going to pop up the circle as well. Alright, now I'm going to find a sentiment from the sticker pack, and I chose this green one because it was the same color green as the leaves I used in the basket. So I'm going to stick that sticker onto the same gray cardstock I used for the mats, and then I'll pop up that sentiment. Okay, and then here's the second card I made. I decided to add a chick with an egg in front of the basket, and I used black mats instead of gray. For my fourth card, you can see I die cut a large oval from some of the purple plaid pattern paper, and then over that I'm going to glue that lacy oval border. And then I'm also going to glue the leaves that came with the oval dies, and I just added the leaves to the top. And then to the side of the oval, I'm going to glue down some floral ephemera pieces. You can see I cut that one die cut piece in half so I can glue part of it below the flower and part of it above. I did pop up that purple flower with the foam dots that came in the kit. And then I'm also going to tuck in some gold leaves. For my sentiment, I chose 2 sentiment banners from the ephemera pack, and they say "From me with love." I'm going to pop those up with the foam dots that came in the kit, and I'm using the entire square, so not just the foam dots. And I always never tend to use these with my kits, so I had a bunch of them laying around, so I just decided to use them all up on this kit. I'm taking my oval, and I liked how it looked on this pattern paper. It's white, but it has some gold foiling on it, which is really pretty. It's probably one of my favorite papers from the pack. So I'm going to glue that oval to the center, and I couldn't just stop there. I think it looks really pretty, and I don't know why I really added this, but I felt the need to because I don't know when to stop. So I'm going to add these hearts to the left and right. And when I work with the Spellbinders kits, I like to group my ephemera pieces together. I usually group them based on color or by image, so I typically group my floral images together. And so I try to create 10 groups, and that will help me create 10 cards. And then sometimes I'll go on Pinterest to find some card sketches in order to come up with some ideas. But here's the second card I created. I did a white oval instead of the pattern paper oval. I just changed up some of the pattern papers. For card 5, you can see I'm going to pop up this lovely sentiment on top of a larger blue scalloped circle ephemera piece. And then I'm going to pop up these flowers onto another ephemera piece. So this is just all layering. Like I said, I grouped, in this case, based on color. And I just kind of created a collage with these pieces. I usually have at least one collage card for each of my Spellbinder videos. You can see I added a gold oval to the back. I'm going to glue some flowers on top of it, and I'm also going to add my sentiment on top. And then I added some blue flowers on top of that notebook paper looking ephemera piece. And I'm just doing a lot of layering and kind of just creating a cluster that I think looks nice. I'm going to add a strip of striped pattern paper to the bottom, and I thought since I'm using that striped paper, I'm going to also add this striped butterfly from the sticker pack. I stuck it onto some white paper. I'll trim around it, and that way I can pop up the butterfly's wings. Added some regular art glitter glue to the center of the butterfly, and then I'll add foam dots to the wings. I'm also going to pop up these hearts, and the hearts actually punch out, but I wanted them to stay inside the circle, so I'm making sure to add the foam dot on top of the heart. I'll glue down my sentiment piece. I'll clean up my desk a little bit. And then I decided to add some gold to the top of this striped panel, as well as the bottom. I try to preserve as much of the gold cardstock from the kit as possible, so that's why I oftentimes use strips. So I just added that to the bottom, and that pretty much completes the card panel. I'm just going to attach it to my card base. And I really like this one. I just love the colors, and the little pop of coral is really pretty. So here's the second card I made. I basically just swapped the striped paper with the more monochromatic blue paper. Card 6 was also pretty quick to put together. I'm taking some pattern paper and I'm going to create a horizontal card. At first I thought I wanted it to be vertical, but I thought it looked better horizontal. So I'm going to add 2 pieces of pattern paper to this. Between the 2, I'm going to add a strip of gold cardstock just to break up the 2 patterns. Here's where I'm trying to figure out if the vertical style will work, but I just felt like my sentiment wasn't working with these large butterflies. So I'm just going to make it horizontal, which gives me a lot more surface area to work with. And just like I did with that smaller butterfly, I'm going to add foam dots to the butterfly's wings and then art glitter glue to their bodies. I chose the pink and purple butterflies. I think these images were the prettiest out of the ephemera pack, so I knew I had to use them on one of my cards. For the sentiment, I chose Happy Easter. Again, this came from the die cut pack. I popped it up with the same foam dots, and then just to embellish this card, I'm going to take a few of the gems and just scatter them around. For my duplicate card, I actually made a whole different design, but it was based off of this one, if that makes sense. So I used the same pastel colors, and I just decided to add that blue butterfly. And I just made a strip of butterflies going from top to bottom. I think that looks really pretty. I actually like the second card I made more, but at the time I was making that first one when I was filming. So for card, I think we're on 7. Yes. I glued down a small pattern paper rectangle onto this larger one. I was pretty bold with this month's kit. I used a lot of pattern paper. I typically only use 1 or 2 on a card, but for some of these I was adding like 3 or 4 papers. So after making all 20 cards, I only had 9 sheets of paper out of the 40 that came in the paper pack. So I used up a lot of supplies, but I think honestly I could have maybe made 9 more cards just because I had 9 sheets left, but I still had quite a bit of stickers left. I did use up all the 3D stickers, and I did use a lot of the regular stickers. And I think I had probably about 15 ephemera pieces left, so I definitely used up a lot of this kit, and I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, while I was saying all that, I basically just assembled the whole card here. You can see I added a bunny to the center of my ovals, and now I'm just adding some eggs below the bunny. One of the eggs is an ephemera piece. I added a bow to it, and then the other egg that says hop 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 is a sticker, so I added that onto some white cardstock and popped it up. Between the 2 eggs, I'm going to add some gold leaves, and these leaves come from the oval piece. I just cut them out and clustered them between the 2 eggs, and then I'm going to add some flowers on top. I chose yellow and pink since there was some yellow and pink in that rectangle pattern paper piece I added. And then just to embellish this card, I'm going to add some flowers. I'm also going to add the sentiment Hip Hop Hooray, and I cut that from some gold cardstock, and I actually used the entire gold sheet and some extra. So I had extra from past kits, but I think that's just because I made 20 cards instead of 10. So I just matted that panel onto some yellow cardstock, and now I'm attaching it to my A2 card base. You can see the card on the right, I did the same thing. I embellished it with gems instead, and I made it more blue colors. And I think these are my favorite out of the 20 that I made. All right, for card 8, I'm taking some more pattern paper, layering them together, and then I'm taking some ephemera pieces, and I thought it would be cute to use some of the stamped images. Like I said, I had a whole bunch of these laying on my desk and I wanted to use them, so I'm going to add the stamped images inside the ephemera pieces. I also decided to add some ears on top of my sentiment that says cutest chick. I'm again adding some pink cardstock behind the ears. And then I'll attach them with some art glitter glue, and then I decided to pop up all the scallop circles and my sentiment up with some foam tape. And then I'm going to take the stamped image of the cracked eggs, and I decided to glue them onto the panel as well. I thought that was really cute. It added some more white to the card. And then I'm going to attach this to my card base. And then I think I accent this card with a few more of the flowers. Yes. So I kind of use them as sequins by just scattering them around the card. Here's a close-up. Alright, well this is actually card 10, so I was way off on my card count here. But I'm already pretty much done with this voiceover, so there's no going back now. But I decided for my final card I was going to do like another collage type card. So I glued the 3 ticket ephemera pieces together. I'm going to pop up this carton of eggs, and it says, "Eggs be friends." That is so cute. I've never seen that pun before. And I would love to have that as a stamped sentiment. I think that's super cute. On top of the tickets, I glued a little bunny, trying to use up all the stamped images I colored. On top of the egg carton, I'm going to add a carrot and a chick. Below the bunny, I also added a larger carrot. For the sentiment, I chose Bunny Kisses from the sticker pack. I just added that to the top. You can see I used a piece of vellum just to help mute down the background a little bit. And then for the bottom of this panel, I thought it would be cute to add a little bow. So you can use the bow from the ephemera pack, but I just decided to tie my own bow with some white ribbon. And then in the center, I decided to add a pink gem. Alright, so I'll flip that panel around, and I'm going to mat it onto some orange cardstock, cut to 1/8 of an inch larger. My bow fell off, so I'm actually adding one of the dots from the gems. And that actually held the bow pretty well. It didn't fall off after that point. So I added it to my card base, and that will complete card number 10. Here is the other card I made. I ran out of stamped images, so I used an ephemera bunny instead. Alright, now I'm going to show you the 10 cards that I showed on camera, but know that I did make 10 extra. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know which card was your favorite. I'm really happy with how all of them turned out. Usually there's 1 or 2 that I don't really care for, but I spent more time on these and it really shows. I used more die cuts and more stamps. If you're interested to see some more close-up photos, you can head over to my coordinating blog. If you haven't yet already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you're notified when I post a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye.